You know, grief is a funny thing. I mean, not funny, haha, more funny, strange. And sometimes we talk about it like it's some kind of an elusive club that you can only have if you lose somebody. But that's not the whole story, is it? No. Grief doesn't just show up when somebody dies. It sneaks in when you leave a job that used to mean everything to you, or when you move away from that place that held history for you, or when you finally let go of that toxic relationship you swore you'd never fall back into until you did. Oh, God. The truth is, grief is universal. It's kind of a universal tax we pay for being human. You don't just escape it just because you're grieving over a broken dream instead of a broken heart. It's still very, very real. It's messy. It's something you have to wade through. I mean, okay, where does it start with? Denial. That's the first stop on this grief train, right? No, it's fine. I can make it work. We're great at lying to ourselves, aren't we? Yeah, we are. So whether it's about a job, a relationship, or it's maybe it's a version of yourself you've been holding on to for dear life. You've been there, you know, I know, we've all been there, telling yourself it's all good when all the cracks were obvious to anyone and everybody who was paying attention. Ah, denial. You know, it keeps you from having to deal with what comes next. Anger. Yeah. Ooh, anger. That's when you start throwing punches at ghosts. Why is this happening to me? Why can't this just be easy? Or it's unfair, it's brutal, it's fucked up, it's so damn exhausting. You start looking for something to blame, somebody to blame, something to point a finger at. Like pointing a finger is going to make it go away, but you know it doesn't. It just gives you something to do while the grief settles in deeper, and then bargaining. That's the sneakiest one of the bunch. You're not yelling anymore. You're not fighting. You know, you're negotiating. Well, what if I try harder? What if I just change this one thing, like trying to patch up a sinking ship with duct tape? You know it's not going to hold, but you're just not ready to let it go yet. So you keep trying to figure out ways to keep it. Then comes the sucker punch, the gut punch, the depression, silence after the storm, the realization it's over, and man, you're stuck in this weird space. Nothing feels real, everything feels like too much, but you gotta sit with it. You can't rush it. Grief demands your attention like a bad house guest. You can't ignore them or they'll trash the place. But here's the thing, you don't have to stay there forever. Eventually, acceptance shows up. Not always a grand entrance, but quietly you stop fighting, you stop running, you take a deep breath and realize it is what it is. May not be what I wanted, but that's okay. This is what it is. And you'll start to feel the weight start lifting off of you bit by bit. You know what we don't talk about enough with this kind of grief is that it's not linear. Any grief, it's not linear. It's not some tidy list that you can tick off the steps. It can catch you off guard. One day you're fine, the next day you hear a song or find an old photo, and boom, you're right back into it. But that's kind of the price of letting go. Those things do that to you because they mattered. And here's the kicker, you can't avoid it. You can numb it, sure. You can distract yourself with work or Netflix or whatever your poison is, but grief doesn't just go away because you ignore it. It waits. It's patient. It'll wait years if it has to. So what do? You face it, you honor it, you give it its due, and hopefully you let it teach you something, because grief, with all its sharp edges and heavy deep shadows, it has a way of clearing out junk in your life, stuff that strips you down to your essentials. It shows you what you're made of. And when you can finally let go of whatever it was you were holding on to, you find this incredible thing waiting for you on the other side. freedom, a lightness of being. And there's where the magic happens. That's where you start over, you rebuild. You learn to breathe again. Yeah, it can be messy and brutal, but it's beautiful in only a way that folks who've been through it can understand. Just know that it does get better. So yeah, grief sucks. It sucks out loud. But the best thing is that when you get to the other side, you realize that yeah, it was worth it. Letting a year like 2024 go, that's grievy. It's not just a number on a calendar. It's a year of your life, 365 days where you lived, you fought, you cried, you laughed. You may have lost a few battles with yourself, and now it's gone. Whether it was the best year of your life or a total dumpster fire, you're standing here at the edge of 2025, trying to figure out what to carry forward and what to leave behind. Letting go of a year isn't just about tossing out old planners, deleting the photos uh, that you don't need anymore. You letting go of that haircut you thought was going to work but didn't. It's about shedding the dead weight, grudges, regrets, all those habits that turned out to be nothing more than bad coping mechanisms. Yeah, saying goodbye to that crap that didn't serve you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and that can be hard. We really don't talk about this kind of grief very much. Letting go of stuff that isn't working for you can feel weird. Like, why should I feel sad about quitting the gym membership that I never used, or finally telling that toxic friend to hit the road? Why does it feel like a breakup when I clear out my closet or stop beating myself up for not being perfect? Because even the things that hurt us, that weigh us down or hold us back, they become part of us. And tearing them away is like ripping off a band-aid that's been sitting on there too long. Think about letting go of a habit that's killing you, like smoking or doom scrolling. Can feel like losing an old friend. It's a loss of a relationship. Letting go relationships, that can be hard. You can be letting go of a part of yourself, an identity you've had for decades. It's like mourning your own ghost when you got to let that version of yourself go. Like, leaving grief isn't tidy, no matter how you see it. You have the why me, the it's fine, but it's not fine. Why does everything have to change? Then there's the bargaining, like I mentioned, maybe I can keep this one piece of it, or maybe I don't have to let all of it go. The depression, when it hits you, that's when you realize, nope, the old stuff's not coming into 2025. And if you're lucky, acceptance arrives, and that's when you finally exhale and say, okay, I'm ready to move forward. But here's the thing about 2025. It's a blank slate. And blank slates don't come with baggage allowances. You can't carry all that junk from last year or the last 10 years into this one and expect it to feel different. So here's what I propose. Grab a pen. Do an inventory of yourself. Take stock of your life. Yeah, daunting as fuck sometimes. Everything, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. What's actually serving you and what ain't. Be brutal. If it doesn't add value, it's got to go. Relationships, habits, beliefs, put them all under the microscope and don't kid yourself. If it's dead weight, you know it. Let it go. Number 2, create a ritual for release. Now look, rituals aren't just for witches and weirdos. They're for anyone who wants closure. Write down the things you're ready to let go of. Burn the list, flush it, tear it into a million pieces, put it in a flower pot, throw it to the wind. Make it tangible to you. Feel the weight of it leaving you. Number 3, Set one bold intention for 2025. Not a laundry list of little resolutions you're going to forget by Valentine's Day. Just one. Make it a big one. Make it bold and make it yours. Maybe it's I'm going to stop apologizing just for existing. Or I'm going to start showing up for myself every damn day. Whatever it is, let it guide you like the North Star. Letting go isn't always easy. It's not supposed to be, really. But here's the thing. The stuff you let go of, it's making room for something better. And when you look back at 2024, all the things you left behind, you'll see that what you let go of didn't define you. What defines you is what you build in its place. So, here's to 2025. Not about perfection. It's about purpose. Let's grieve what we need to grieve. Let go of what we need to let go of. Move forward lighter, freer, and just be ready for whatever the hell comes next.